Good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year.
Nice to see you all. We might start with the Mint making a few comments.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
And then we'll open it up for questions. Thanks, everyone.
Wait for everyone to be ready. Yep. Okay. Yep. Excellent. Well done. Thanks very much. Well, Happy New Year, everyone, and it's a new year here at the Queensland Police Academy as well. Coming off the back of a historic investment in policing, the Palaszczuk government's investing more in the Queensland Police Service than ever before. And just before the last election, we said that we would be growing the police service by an extra 2,025 extra police personnel over 5 years. When you're training police officers, they've got to go through a very robust, a very fulfilling, but also very thorough training program. It's a program that takes about 6 months, and it is one of the best in the world, not only because of the facilities and the expertise that's imparted on these recruits, but also the technology that they learn, the policing methodologies, and also the exposure that they have to very senior, experienced police officers. In the biggest intake, single intake, for almost a decade, we will welcome today over 160 new recruits to the Queensland Police Service. They will start their journey today with the Queensland Police Service. Let me say that again. It's the biggest single intake of recruits in almost a decade, and they start today. This is very exciting, not only for the Queensland Police Service, but for those individuals who have been chosen by the people of Queensland, by the Queensland Police Service, to serve their community. They will go on, they will go through the training process, they will be exposed to those senior experienced officers, and then, upon graduation, they will be deployed right across our state to serve the community, to keep the community safe, to support the community through tough times. Tough times like we saw during 2020, and tough times like some communities in far north Queensland are experiencing at the moment with the recent cyclone. This is exciting times for the Queensland Police Service, not only with the massive growth, but in welcoming new Queenslanders, new citizens to the organisation to ensure that they can go on to serve their community, to keep this community safe. We're very excited about it. The Commissioner is very excited about these new recruits coming on board. And I know when you talk to older officers, officers who have been in the service for a number of years, they all think back to the time when they first stepped foot here in the Academy, when they started their journey with the Queensland Police Service. It's a really important memory that's created, and it is a memory that is lifelong. It is lifelong memories created here at the Academy with the cohort of recruits that we welcome. So thank you to those Queenslanders, thank you to those citizens who have put their hand up to serve their community. I wish them well through their training. I know that they will work hard to ensure that they meet all the robust high threshold requirements that we expect of our recruits so that we can formally graduate them in about 6 months' time into the Queensland Police Service as the newest constables of the Queensland Police Service. Commissioner?
Good morning, everyone, and a Happy New Year to you all. Yes, from my perspective, it's certainly an exciting day today. We've got 164 new recruits starting, 47 in Townsville, the rest in Brisbane, and 40 of those have chosen to do their first component, the first 13 weeks, which is mostly theory online. Whilst COVID gave us many challenges, it also gave us many opportunities, and we have redesigned how we do our recruit training. And all of them were given an option as to how they wanted to learn in that initial part of their recruit training, and 40 have opted to do 13 weeks online. They will be here for 6 months, and I would have to say, the Minister touched on this just a little while ago, that many senior officers, and I'm one of those, that when we come out and talk to the new recruits, think of their time at the Academy. I just walked through the upstairs dormitory areas, and it certainly does take you back to the day that you started all those years ago. And while some things haven't changed, certainly a lot has changed, and we are one of the most advanced and contemporary policing organisations in the world. And with our very agile and flexible way of learning has certainly taken that to a new level. So from my perspective, a very exciting day. We will talk to these recruits very, very shortly. I think they will change in an enormous lot over the next 6 months and enjoy and join a great organisation to serve their community in Queensland. We might open it up for questions.
Such an exciting day. What runs through your mind on having been the first days of police work?
What runs through your mind is mostly you're a fresh-faced, innocent kid like I was back then, not knowing what you were going to face, knowing that you wanted to serve the community because we all joined for that very reason, and thinking this might be a breeze, but it certainly isn't. I spent 2 years at university before I came here as a 19-year-old, and the 6 months that I did here were the toughest, some of the toughest in my life. Not just the theory, but the physical component, and every aspect of our training is very, very thorough. And it was a tough 6 months, and the learning continues throughout your entire life, and that's what makes it the organisation it is.
Can you tell us about the age range, ethnicity, gender division, former occupations? What makes them interesting?
What makes the recruits so interesting, it is all of that. It is the fact that they're different genders, cultures, histories. When I joined, most of us were in our early 20s. Now we have recruits to actually just recently a 54-year-old. So we have them across different backgrounds, ages, ethnicity and cultures and genders. That is the most important component of a recruit and what the police is about. We need to reflect the people that we serve, and that is, I think, one of our greatest strengths.
How many?
We have 25% women at the moment, and we're about to embark on a heavy campaign to make sure that we recruit more women and more cultures into the organisation, or different cultures into the organisation. Incredibly important that we do this because you have to reflect the people that you serve. You connect better, and it shows you that you also have a healthier and more contemporary organisation as a result.
Is that 25% in this intake or?
25% in this intake. The Queensland Police Service sits around 30% at the moment, and whilst I'd like that to be healthier, we need to do a fair bit more work to get those numbers up a bit more.
Any idea what the average age of the intake?
I can get that for you, but it's normally around 28, 30 these days. The average age? Yeah, 30. I think when I joined it was in the early 20s. So we do have a lot of people who choose doing this career at the end of their working life sometimes, and I talk about the one who was 54 was a bank manager for an extended period of time, and obviously before finishing his working career wanted to join policing because that's what he wanted to do all his life, and he certainly has got that opportunity. But for me, that's the benefit of this organisation. It allows everyone to do it, and having that variety is extraordinarily important. And I'm sure there's some 19-year-olds in there as well, because last time when we came to the swearing in, they ranged from 19 to 54, and it was just tremendous.
A few other questions.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. From a policing point of view, should travellers be expecting delays at the border with the new health records returning to Queensland?
No, they shouldn't be. We've opened up a few more border areas on the Gold Coast in particular. What there was yesterday, as you know, a bit of a hold up in some of the testing areas, and a lot of those that opened up today as well. So what we're recommending at the moment, obviously, if you're in New South Wales in the hotspot area from the 11th of December, you must go into quarantine. You don't have a choice from that. And also, if you're coming back from Melbourne, isolate until you get that test. So that's incredibly important. But at the moment, it's monitoring day by day. Literally, we have a 1 o'clock link up with the health officer, with the Premier and all other ministers to make decisions about what needs to be done. It is day by day, but definitely those returning from Melbourne need to isolate and have a test.
In regards to Lyle Shelton,
yes.
Across the Christian lobbyist who tweeted about crossing the border and doing that, where was the investigation into that?
It was disappointing actually to see that tweet this morning, because straight away when you see something like that, you know you're going to have to put resources to it to look into that, and certainly we have. He has been spoken to. He can cross the border. I understand he has a G pass. So it was just a funny tweet, which in the end is not really that funny, because what you're doing is taking away resources that need to be in other places. He has been spoken to, and I see he's now retweeted about doing that. And I ask that people please don't do that, because I think Queenslanders and everyone else would rather have the police in the right place at the right time than doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
Commissioner, is the police service ready to go should there need to be a hard border put up again if things escalate further down south?
I think we've been shown to be very flexible and agile in putting border closures together very, very quickly. So even when we took down the border closures in December, we didn't completely dismantle, just in case we had to, get everything going again. So that has worked very, very well. So even the closures just recently were up within a day. So I'm very, very confident that if anything changes, we're ready to go within a number of hours.
Is that messaging you've received from Chief Health Officer Button just to be prepared?
The Chief Health Officer's message at the moment is that we do need to monitor day by day. Obviously, she's very comfortable how things are being addressed in other states, particularly Victoria and New South Wales. We'll continue the way that we are, but if we need to make changes, they will be made very quickly.
There's been some reports that people were playing fireworks on Fraser Island over New Year's. What's your reaction to that, considering the total fire ban?
Absolutely uncalled for, ridiculous. When you look at that island and the issues that we've had and what we're trying to protect, you shouldn't be doing that. And everyone saw all the news and the damage and what had been done. So I just ask that people do the right thing. And if we can all do the right thing, we wouldn't have to all, not only us, Queensland Fire and Emergency Services, other departments, the community, get put at risk. So please think of others before doing something like that.
Could people who are doing the wrong thing in lighting fireworks, etc., be facing some serious penalties?
Oh yeah, definitely. If we investigate that and we found that obviously the wrong thing was done, and in that instance that may be the case, that action will definitely be taken.
How in place with the cyclone Imogen and the downgrading of that?
Yes, so it's about to be downgraded very shortly, hopefully. It did cross late last night close to Corumba. It's brought a lot of rain, thankfully no injuries. We would appear at this stage there is no massive damage either, but there is a lot of water. There's about 1,400 houses without power at the moment. Ergon briefed this morning to say that they have to get the helos in to have a look at where the damage is before they can bring back the power. But all in all, I think it's going quite well. In some parts up there they're enjoying the rain, but in other parts there is a bit of water around at the moment. I think Queenslanders are always ready for cyclone and storm season, and we've done a lot of exercising and a lot of training, particularly delivering that response in a COVID environment as well. That exercising has been done at all levels of government and even with the local mayors and the various councils. So we are ready. We have asked for QFES to give us a 7-day outlook, so we're doing a very thorough 7-day outlook, and we'll get briefed on that very, very shortly. But Queenslanders can be guaranteed that we are always ready to deal with any flood, any circumstance really, because we are well rehearsed and the community really does the right thing.
Let's ask a question. If you're just back to COVID,
yes.
Sorry, if you're walking along the beach to walk on weekends, do you need a pass?
Well, his obviously point was that police aren't everywhere, and I think the retreat says not intercepting walkers and lizards and a whole heap of other things. So technically, if you have the pass, it would be a good thing, but we expect people to do the right thing. And if we need to investigate it like we have, we will, but we don't want people to waste our time either. We want people to freely move, do their exercise, do the right thing, and not brag about it on Twitter and put our resources where they don't need to be.
Minister, I might just get your reaction to the fireworks as well at night. What's your reaction to people doing that on an island that is obviously so devastated by fires?
Yeah, well, there's rules in place for a reason, and those rules are in place to protect people's lives, protect property, and to protect the environment. And I know that wherever there will be instances of people doing the wrong thing, the Queensland Police Service and other authorities will investigate. And as the Commissioner said, if someone's done the wrong thing, they will be found, and I expect them to feel the full force of the law. It is idiotic behaviour to engage in high-risk activities like lighting fireworks in an unauthorised way. And if anyone's done that, you can expect the Queensland Police Service and other agencies to investigate. And I hope you get a knock on your door, and I hope you feel the full force of the law.
Can I ask a question about the Indian cricket team?
Okay.
We consider easing the restrictions to make it more comfortable for them when they're in Queensland?
Yeah. Well, I know the Chief Health Officer will be looking at all of these aspects very, very closely, and as we have done the whole way through, we take her advice. We listen to her advice, we act on her advice, and when she recommends a certain course of action, we act decisively. And it's very important that we do that, and that's why Queensland is one of the safest places in the world when it comes to protecting our community from COVID. Those rules apply to everyone equally. So whether you're playing for India or whether you're coming back from visiting family in another state, the rules apply equally. So the Chief Health Officer will be monitoring this situation. If she recommends a certain course of action, then of course we will support that. But it is her call, and we'll be waiting to hear her advice.
What do you think about Lars Helton's tweet?
The Commissioner's spoken about, the consequences of that smart aleck type behaviour. Not only does it divert police resources, but it also creates a sense of confusion in the community around certain actions. At the end of the day, he claims he's got a border pass, so he was entitled to cross the border in accordance with that border pass requirement. But there's a saying out there that it's better for people to think you're an idiot than to open your mouth and confirm it. Maybe that's a relevant application to Mr. Shelton. Okay. All right.
Thanks.
We're going to meet some recruits.
Yes, we are. Are they that way? Where are they?
Thank you all. The good Minister and Commissioner are going to go down and greet some recruits. We're happy for the media. Can we go and get a quick video, Brad?